High-profile cyber attacks against large companies such as Anthem and Sony get a lot of attention in the headlines. But what of the risks to small and medium-sized companies? Are they exposed? Are they buying coverage? Here with some answers is Rick Betterley, editor of the Betterley Report. So Rick, are small and medium-sized companies exposed to cyber risk the same way large companies are?
Well, they are. It's a different kind of exposure, and the sad thing is a lot of them don't realize that they're the soft underbelly of cybersecurity.
How does that happen?
So the SME, small mid-size organization, first of all, thinks, they're not going to attack us. We're not headline news. We're not a big organization. The hackers aren't going to bother with us. But the problem is that they often are very poorly defended against cyber attacks. And so they make real good targets for the hackers who want to either steal their data or want to use the access to the smaller company as a way to get into larger companies that they do business with.
Why does this matter?
Well, it matters a lot. It matters partly because they have their own exposures and they're very vulnerable to loss, data breach that affects other people, other parties, damage to their business, and they probably don't have the resources to recover from it. It also affects other parties. For example, if those small to mid-size victims are doing business with larger organizations, it may be that that hack was a way to get an open door into the larger organizations, and that's dangerous. So what we're talking about here is that a hacker might attack a small, mid-sized organization, seeing it as vulnerable and just as a way to get an open door into larger organizations that they do business with. So for example, an SME that's doing business with larger organizations, let's say healthcare system, creates a breach opportunity at the healthcare system. So larger organizations are starting to recognize that their vendor networks are a real source of vulnerability. So they're requiring their vendor networks to carry insurance, cyber insurance, tighten up indemnification agreements, shifting risk over to the SME, and also helping them get more secure. It's an important way for the larger organization itself to be more secure by tightening up its vendors.
How are small and mid-sized companies responding?
Mostly by crossing their fingers and hoping it doesn't happen to them. Of course, there are some very well-run small and especially mid-sized enterprises that are doing the smart thing of bringing in outside service providers, consultants, security services to make sure that their defenses are strong. But there are many who just aren't doing anything. And of course, many are also buying insurance, not as many as will be in the future, but many are starting to buy cyber insurance.
In part 2 of our discussion with Rick Betterley, we will explore the cyber insurance market for small and mid-sized companies, the cost of coverage, and the potential for growth in the market going forward. So keep it here for more World Risk and Insurance news on RIN TV.